Let's begin by coming onto our backs and bringing our feet together and our knees wide, with one hand onto your belly and one hand onto your chest. Or you can bring your feet flat on the floor, step them out wider and let your knees drop inwards. We're going to take 5 breaths here to settle down into the physical and the mental space and body. So just take this time to sink into your mat, to relax your muscles, and to tune into a rhythm for your breath. Take one more breath here. Then wriggle your fingers and wriggle your toes. Stretch your arms and your legs in opposite directions. And as you exhale, bring your knees onto your chest. Draw them inwards. Circle them a few times. And check in with how your lower back is feeling as you do this. Change the direction of your rotation. And from here, extend your left leg out, keeping your right knee into your chest. I'd like you to just rotate the right knee a couple of times. You can relax that left leg onto the mat. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. And change the rotation. Gently softening and relaxing into the hip joint, making sure that it's nice and loose. From here, I'd like you to take your hands behind your leg and extend your right leg up as high as you can. You can have a bend in that leg if your hamstring's feeling tight. On your inhale, press your heel away and draw your toes back towards you. On the exhale, point your toes. That 2 more times. And draw your knee into your chest. Circle your ankle for a few moments. Circle the other way. Interlace your hands around your right knee and start to press your right leg up into your hands. And at the same time, draw your hands back towards you so that there's a resistance between the pushing of your leg and the pulling of your hands. You should feel it in your hip joint. Hold here for 3 moments and keep breathing. For 3, for 2, and on 1, I want you to relax your knee and just draw your leg in close. Relax your leg rather. Let's do that 2 more times. So hold that position there, press your knee up and resist back with your arms and your hands. Keep breathing for 3. Keep pressing for 2. And on 1, relax your leg, relax your knee and draw your leg in close. Do that 1 more time. Breathing in, resisting as you press up for 3, for 2, and on 1, relax the leg, relax the knee, and draw the leg in close. Good. From here, just circle your knee, relax it off your chest a little bit, and notice that your hip joint should feel nice and open. Let's change the direction of the rotation, and then gently release your right leg onto the floor, and bring your left knee into your chest. Good. Take your hands behind your left leg this time and draw your heel up. Take a big breath in to press the heel away. Exhale to point your toes. Take 2 more rounds of breath like that. Breathing in and out. Draw your left leg in, circle the knee a few times. Change the direction of the rotation. And then draw your left leg in, interlace your hands around your left knee, and start to drive your knee upwards as you draw your leg downwards using your arms. Holding here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Relax the leg, relax the knee, and draw the leg in close. Good. Hold there, keep breathing. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Relax the leg, relax the knee, draw it in close. 1 more round here. Keep that resistance up and hold here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Relax the leg and the knee and draw it in. And release the leg off the chest. Rotate the leg a couple of times. Notice the space in that left hip. Just check in with your body and how it's feeling at the moment. Change the rotation, take a breath. And then take your hands underneath your knees, rock yourself up to a seat, and from here, just come onto your hands and your knees. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And from here, we're going to press our feet down into the floor and lift our back up towards the ceiling. Create space between your shoulders and lift up as tall as you can with your back body. And then see if you can press into the tops of your feet, lift your knees off the floor, and hold here for 3 breaths. Keep pressing down. 1 more. Good. Drop your knees down. And from here, tuck your toes under and bring your hips back onto your heels, coming into a sort of extension of a child's pose. Relax your torso down towards the floor. Relax your head down. And as you rest your upper body here, try to stretch into your feet and into your toes and into the arches of your foot, or your feet rather. Take 3 deep breaths. As you next inhale, I want you to look forward and keep your body nice and low to the ground as you curl yourself up into a cat position. You might need to slide your hands back. As you exhale, round yourself into that was the cow position. Round yourself back into the cat position and bring your hips back onto your heels. And just keep moving like that. So curling forward into a cow. Dropping your belly down, opening your chest up, and exhaling back into your cat. Do that 2 more times. Inhaling up. Exhaling back. And then come forward into a tabletop position. And from here, step your right leg back and just stretch into your hamstring. To get into the side body and to get a stretch happening in that space, we're going to step that right foot over towards the outside of the left leg and then look towards the extended leg. You should feel a nice stretch in your back and in the sides of your body. What kind of tends to happen here is your body drops down. So see if you can press into your hands and lift your back up towards your ceiling and breathe into the right side of your body for 2 breaths. And bring your right leg back to the center of your mat and just change to the opposite side. Good, then bring that left leg back in. From here, we're going to keep our elbows close to our rib cage as we move ourselves forward, moving our shoulders beyond our fingers and bending at the elbows to bring ourselves all the way down onto the mat. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, press your feet into the ground. Inhale to lift your chest up, squeeze your shoulders together, squeeze your elbows together, and draw your chin inwards and imagine that you're reaching out through the top of your head. And then exhale down. Take 2 more rounds of breath like that. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Good, then tuck your toes under, power up into a plank, and exhale back into your downward facing dog. Once you're here, I'd like you to broaden your shoulders away from your neck and really allow your spine and your head to kind of hang forward towards your hands. Keep the tops of your shoulders soft and start to walk your downward facing dog on the spot, stretching into your hamstrings, which should feel pretty good considering the stretches we did at the start of the class. When you're ready, inhale to lift your hips and your heels up off the floor, and exhale to ground them down towards the mat. Take 4 more rounds of breath like that. So inhaling, lifting up, exhaling, grounding down. After that 4th exhale, bend those knees left to right again, and this time walk your feet towards the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Inhale up into your halfway lift. Exhale to bend your knees and fold forward. Take 2 more rounds of breath like that, inhaling up into a halfway lift, and exhaling, bending the knees and folding forward. 1 more. I seem to be a bit tongue-tied again today. Press into the tops of your feet and gently roll your spine up into a standing pose. Sweep your hands up and exhale to bring your hands down through to your heart center. There it is again. From here, take your hands onto your hips and just start to circle your shoulders to release into the neck and to release into the tops of your shoulders. Then circle the other way to loosen out into that space. From here, relax your arms, relax your shoulders. I'd like you to keep your arms nice and straight now and beside your body. Draw your chin in towards your neck and extend up through the back of your head, through the top of your spine. Can you feel that? That as you draw your chin down, your spine and your neck extends. Keep that extension there and take 3 deep breaths, focusing on breathing into the belly and into the chest. And as you exhale, relax your shoulders down. Actively draw them downwards as you draw your hands down. Then again, breathe into the belly and the chest. Actively drive your shoulders and your hands down. Keep your chin drawn inwards. 1 more round of breath. We're going to use this momentum and use this movement in a second. Good. Keeping your chin drawn inwards, turn your head towards your left shoulder. See how far it goes today. And then take a big breath into your belly, a big breath into your chest. And on the exhale, slide your right hand down towards your right knee and let your left arm lift up naturally. Hold there You might feel a little bit of a strain in the left side of your neck. We need those muscles to be engaged to keep our head there, but if your neck hurts in a bad way, or if you feel yourself cramping, then you might want to look down at the floor or look over towards that right side. See how you go. Breathe into the left side of your body. If you want to deepen this pose, if you want to take it further, you could take your left hand onto the back of your neck and drive your left elbow up. Take one more round of breath. And then inhale back to center. Take a big breath into your belly and into your chest. And as you exhale, draw your left hand down, look over towards that right side, and hold here, or take your right hand onto the back of your neck and drive your right elbow up. After that third exhale, inhale back to center, release your arms down, sweep your hands up as you breathe in, and exhale to float yourself down into a forward fold. Inhale up into your halfway lift, and as you exhale, bend your knees, fold yourself down, and take your second and third finger around your big toes. Inhale for a halfway lift, still holding onto your big toes. Exhale to bend your knees and to draw yourself down. 2 more rounds in that manner. So breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, bending the knees, folding down. 1 more round of breath like that. Then release your feet, plant your hands onto the floor, step back into your plank, take a big breath in, and lower yourself down onto your torso and onto your belly. From here, take your hands wide and come up onto your fingertips. And we're going to press down into the feet, lift our torsos up, look towards our left elbow, and drop our right shoulder down. I'll repeat that in case you didn't catch it. We're going to lift our torsos up, look towards our left elbow, drop our right shoulder down. Really gently, I want you to start to circle your right shoulder to loosen it up. And then rotate it the other way. Come back to a neutral position, lift up, look over to the right shoulder, and drop your left shoulder down. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Change the rotation. Then come back to a neutral position, lift yourself up, and exhale to roll your spine down. I'm going to power up into a plank pose here. And as you exhale, drop yourself over to that right side, lifting your left arm up to come into a side plank. Power down into those feet, power down into your right hand, and if, like me at the moment, your right shoulder is a little further back than the wrist, bring your shoulder over the top of the wrist and lift that left arm up. Take 3 deep breaths. One more. After that third exhale, step the left foot to the halfway point in the mat and gently lower your right hip down onto the floor. Should get a nice stretch in the right side of your body. If you can't feel the stretch, walk your right hand closer towards your right hip. Take your left hand out and extend it over the top of that right leg and press your right leg away from you. Good. Take 3 deep breaths here. After the third exhale, press down into that left leg, lift your hips up and sweep your left arm up to the ceiling. And exhale to extend it over towards the front of your mat. Should have a nice stretch in the left side of your body. Take 3 deep breaths here. Breathe into your belly and your chest. 1 more. Then lift your left arm up and sweep it back behind you so that your shoulder doesn't cramp. Bring it down onto the floor. We're just going to change sides. So bring your left shoulder above your left wrist. Draw your right arm up. Hold here for 3 breaths. Then step your right foot to the halfway point in your mat and drop your left hip down. Good. Find that stretch in the left side of your body. Extend your right arm over your left leg and press the left heel away from you. 3 breaths. I really like this stretch, eh? It just feels good. After that last exhale, sweep your right arm up, lift your hips up off the floor and reach the right hand to the top of your mat. Breathing into the right side of the body, 3 breaths here. Lift the hips up higher if you can. Then draw your right arm up, sweep it back behind you and bring your hands onto the floor. From here, we're actually going to step ourselves forward and come into a malasana, which is yogi squat. Bring your feet flat on the floor. If you can't manage to do that, it's just because the structure in your ankles is a little different, and that's okay. So for some of us, our heels are going to be off the floor. If that's you, you can bring a brick or a book or a cushion underneath your heels, or sit down onto something that elevates your hips up higher and gets you into a comfortable seat. Bring your arms onto the insides of your knees now. Place your hands in a prayer pose at heart center and gently hold this position. And just like at the start of the class where we were resisting our arms and our legs against one another, I want you to now press your arms outwards and your knees inwards. Draw your chin down, relax the tops of your shoulders, and take 5 deep breaths here. Keep the pressure and the resistance up between the arms and the legs. Just feel the shoulders and the hips relax. Take 1 more round of breath. And then slowly bring your hands down onto the floor and bring yourself to a seated position. Bring your hands back behind you and gently rock your knees from side to side to loosen out into your hips. One more on each side. Good. Bring yourself back to a neutral position. Slide your hips towards your heels and bring yourself all the way down onto your back. We are going to take ourselves into a bridge pose now. And what I'd like you to pay particular attention to is the engagement of your glutes as you lift yourself up. Start by taking the crease of or the curve of your index finger and your thumb to the back of your heels on both sides. Press your hands and your feet down into the floor, and then engage your glutes as you lift yourself up into your bridge pose. Hold here for 3 breaths, and see if you can lift the tops of your hips up towards your ceiling a little bit higher. Draw your knees together. And take a big breath in. As you exhale, roll your spine down onto the ground. Draw your knees into your chest. Give them a gentle squeeze inwards before releasing them down, straightening your legs onto the ground. Take one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your chest. And start to breathe in and out here. Just trust that now is the moment for you to take in the effects of the practice and to feel how the practice has affected your body. And how open your body feels and how much energy there's flowing. How strong your body feels. And notice how the practice has affected your mind. Your ability to stay grounded and present and calm. Tune into the sounds of the room around you. And to practice tuning into the finer and the more subtle sounds and points of awareness, see if you can identify 3 to 5 different sounds in the room around you. Using that same ability of focusing into the more subtle things, take your awareness now to your mind and notice what your mind is doing. Where is it leading you to? What emotions or feelings come up for you? And do you feel these feelings often? Or are they fairly new? The skill or ability to tune our minds into the more subtle things can also be used and directed towards keeping us concentrating and focused on what we want to be focusing on, rather than being distracted by the things that distract us. See if you can keep that sense of subtle awareness and focus it now onto your breath for 3 final inhales and exhales in this position. Focus on the flow of the breath as it moves in through your nostrils to your throat, your lungs, and then your belly. Feel how the breath moves your body. And how it changes your body from an inhale to an exhale. Notice the temperature of your breath at the rings around your nostrils and how it changes from an inhale to an exhale. And finally, notice the sound of your breath and how it changes from an inhale to an exhale. You can stay here and practice tuning in for a little longer if you'd like, or you can start to wriggle your fingers and your toes. And on a breath in, stretch your limbs in opposite directions. See if you can keep tuning inwards as you roll over onto your left side. And take a moment here, just a breath, to relax and to check in with your whole self. See if you can sink into your mat one last time. Keeping that sense of calmness, press yourself up to a seat at the top of your mat. Rest your hands on your thighs, in your lap, or at your heart center. Take 3 final breaths here. I hope that you have enjoyed that class and that you found a sense of openness in your body, calmness in your mind, and a flow in the energy of how you are right now. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day, and I hope to see you again. Namaste. If you enjoyed that video, then it would be really great to hear about it in the comments below. Comments, likes, and subscribes help the channel grow, and it's kind of like a bit of an external affirmation for helping me know that you're enjoying this content. So I appreciate those of you who are supporting me and who have been here from the start. And if you'd like to hop on board and follow my journey, there's a new video out every week for you to enjoy. I hope to see you again. Namaste.